Hello, and welcome to your other forecast for the near future. I'll start with large areas of the West, where we have seen a few distinctive trends emerging and accelerating over the last 30 years. Rapid advancements in technology have resulted in a proliferation of smartphones and tablets over the last few years. 1 billion tablets were sold worldwide in 2012, and we're likely to see smartphone sales topping 2 billion by the end of this year. The sheer quantity of these devices is having a dramatic impact on the way our society functions. We're becoming dependent on screen-based technologies to perform even the most basic daily tasks. It's now hard for us to read a book, navigate with a map, keep in touch with our friends and family, or meet new people and organise a date without relying on these devices for assistance. The fragile threads which hold our society together are becoming increasingly dependent on an electricity supply, which, as you can see, has led to a sharp increase in our energy consumption up to the present day. But let's look on the bright side. We're actually very lucky that we have these tools to keep us connected as we continue on our trend towards universal alienation. In large sections of the West, more and more people are living completely on their own. The number of single-person households has increased globally by 80% in the last 15 years, the highest number of singletons occurring in Sweden, Norway, Japan, and in the UK, where 34% of homes now have only one person living in them. This allows us the illusion of success and independence in a world in which we are actually ever more dependent on each other and on a collective global system of production to fulfill even our most basic human needs. Which brings me on to my favourite subject of food. Across the West, we're seeing a build-up of high sugar and high fat foods. Because our primitive genetic code still encourages us to make the most of all available calories, we are witnessing frequent instances of excessive consumption. The average body weight of a person living in the West has increased over the last 30 years to the extent that 1 billion of us are now considered overweight and more than 600 million obese. This glut of food in Western areas is masking the fact that it is actually an increasingly scarce resource, which is dependent on a delicate climate and vital seasonal variations in order to grow. So, to summarise, you can see we're over-consuming on lots of levels here. Electricity and gas usage are going up as we continue to heat our lonely, cramped, but still luxury apartments, and as we obsessively recharge our smartphones in order to keep alive the illusion of a meaningful social bond. As a result, you can see our greenhouse gas emissions going up, causing global temperatures to increase over the next century to levels at which human life will no longer be possible. Meanwhile, though, this frenzy of activity is causing large amounts of surplus value to rise up from all corners of the world, flowing freely across national borders and centralising and raining down into the hands of a small number of very special people. So, as you can see, the future is already here. It's just not very evenly distributed. So, now to our outlook for the next few years. As global temperatures continue to rise, it looks likely that we'll see an increase in the number of very lonely, very fat, and of course very sweaty people. Although we may not see them at all, as I'm sure they'll remain indoors and won't ever end up on the telly. But let's look on the bright side once again. You'll be grateful for all those spare tyres that you've been hoarding up when electricity shortages halt all production and unseasonal weather cause our crops to fail. At least you'll have a fair bit of excess energy to keep you going through those lonely winter months. And of course, your beloved smartphone will make a lovely paperweight when you can no longer charge it up. But the best news of all is that you'll quickly learn that you never really needed it in the first place. Just turn off your telly, walk out the front door and go speak to your neighbours face to face. Together, you can start relearning all those really vital skills that are required for your own social reproduction. So that's all from me. Have a lovely life and good night.